started. It is 7:16. Called meeting to order. The first is the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Roll call.
Ms. Bolenbacher? Online. Okay. Mr. Chandler.
Here.
The pen. Thank you. Sorry about that. Ms. Compitello? Is absent. Mr. Marks? Here. Mr. Oliverio?
Here.
Ms. Polkalnik?
Here.
Sorry, I apologize. Mr. Rodilla?
Here.
Mayor Perry? Here. Solicitor Corbel? Here. Engineer Minsterman? Here. And myself filling in for Manager Price.
All right, great. We do have a quorum. The consent agenda. We have the council meeting minutes from June 22nd. We're on the OneDrive, and the bill list from July 13th. We're on the OneDrive. We need a motion, unless there's any discussion, to approve the July 13th, 2023 consent agenda.
So moved.
Mr. Marks,
Second.
Ms. Polkalnik, any discussion or questions? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's in favor, right, Colin?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. So motion passes. Public comments on agenda items. At this time, citizens may address the Crafton Borough Council on any issue appearing on today's agenda. Only residents and taxpayers of the Borough of Crafton will be permitted to address the council. Comments on non-agenda items will be taken at the end of tonight's meeting. Speakers will be permitted to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes. Groups of people will be required to designate a spokesperson to represent them before the council, who may speak for a maximum of 5 minutes, sorry. Please state your name and physical address for the record. All right. We have one here, then we will go to Zoom. Mr. Wozniak.
I'm Greg Wozniak, 1773 Bar Avenue. Anyway, I'm here representing myself and two people on my street, Mrs. Morris and Mrs. Soteric, and we just want to give our opinion of the brick streets. Our opinion of the brick streets is that we keep brick streets, just flat out keep brick streets. The fact that Crafton is a community, turn of the century community. The charm of the streets is really important to people. Also, the just the fact that the streets, they last a lot longer. I know there's all kind of financial seesawing that goes on as far as whether it's economically the right thing to do. Seems that most things that I've read that it makes sense to keep the brick streets. So the opinion for me and two of my neighbors is the fact that in all cases we keep brick streets. So and then the other the thought is that spending trying to save a buck early on is you got to look at it long term. So just wanted to voice the opinion of myself and two of my neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Greg. All right. Anybody online who can raise your hand? On the phone?
Nobody online.
Okay. The first item is the president's report. I had two things. One is trees. Savvy Citizen went out today. We are looking for residents that would like trees in their front yard that would, instead of the tree lawn, which is the skinny patch between the road and your house, in your front yard. And that is something that's budgeted by the borough, and we support that. We provide those trees. The maintenance is up to the resident, but the tree cost and the planting is done by the borough. So if anybody's interested in that, you can contact the borough office, and there was information on Savvy Citizen too. These are trees that would be good for the community, native trees, and also would not go into the power lines. Also, I wanted to formally thank the rec board and all the volunteers for the 4th of July celebration. It was a very nice event, the fireworks, and also for the mini golf that's been going on all summer. All of those are organized by volunteers. These are people that are not paid. They spend their time and efforts to put on these events for all of us. So I wanted to formally thank all of those folks. That's all I have. Next is the mayor's report.
The only thing I have is to second your motion for the thanks and the great outcome of 4th of July and the 5K run. They had almost 50 people show up for it and lots of great people participating. So yeah, thanks to our rec board and all the volunteers that have helped them put that on.
Right. Thank you. All right, solicitors. Oh. Yeah, okay.
I have nothing to report other than to mention that 4 members of council held a joint meeting with the Carleton School Board yesterday, no, Tuesday, to discuss property matters. There were no deliberations at the meeting. So, end of my report.
Engineers report.
I have nothing to add other than what's in our report or any comments on the items that are on the agenda tonight.
Great. Managers report for Mr. Price. Mr. Samples back.
Good to be back here. So there's 2 motions, both administrative in nature. The first is appointing our delegates to the Allegheny County Southwest Taxing District. This is who collects the earned income or wage tax. So there's a resolution here appointing Manager Price as the delegate and President John Oliverio is the alternate to that taxing district. Any questions?
I want to mention what this is too. This is the body that selects Jordan Tax Service for the earned income tax. And it is a conglomeration of 63 different entities that make that decision. So personally, I've heard a lot of feedback around Jordan, and there aren't very many options. Unfortunately, there's 2 options, but having a voice heard with potentially technology improvements and other things are things that, you know, I understand and would like to push forward. So that's part of what this body does. They meet twice a year. So there isn't a motion. We need a motion to.
Say I'll make the motion to approve resolution 2023-17, appointing manager Jim Price as the delegate and John Oliverio as the alternate to the Allegheny County Southwest Taxing District. Second.
Mr. Badilla, discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Sorry. The second resolution, this is for the DCNR grant that we received for the master site plan for the Parks and Rec. We had passed this, DCNR had asked for some additional information to be included. So this is what we're doing. We're amending the original resolution. So that's what this is.
And Ms. Compitello just joined the meeting. Ms. Compitello, can you hear us? Nope. No. Okay, we can't hear you if you are talking. Oh, she's not. Okay. Oh, there she is connected now.
Hey there, Kirsten, can you hear us?
She's on mute, right? Yeah.
I can now. Yeah, I just got my audio.
Okay,
Wonderful.
Great. All right. So and I don't know if we have to revise this for her benefit, but we're looking at resolution 2023-03. This is the grant project, the resolution for the DCNR, the requirements change for them. So there is no motion yet. So that's what we want. Any questions or comments?
So what were the minor administrative changes? Was it just, I mean, I'm looking at the resolution now. I didn't see anything notable, but I was just curious.
They had just wanted items 1 to 5 highlighted, whereas it was included in the language as the whereas in the old one, and they just wanted it highlighted as they have now, the A, B, C, and D. Just a different format, really.
Cool. All right, I mean, I'll go ahead and make the motion to approve resolution 2023-03, updating the resolution that closed out Community Conservation Partnership Grant Project BRC-TAG-26-226 with the requested information.
Second.
Mr. Modelo? Any discussion?
I think maybe for future, instead of having to try to dig up the old one, if we can in the OneDrive or whatever, get either like the markup or whatever, it might make it a little bit easier to.
Yeah, I believe what this was to close out this and to obtain the grant money, they wanted this language specifically into there, so. Yeah. And this was done, I think. Okay. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Okay, anything else?
Nothing further.
Okay, great. Standing committee report, finance and administration.
So Finance Committee meets once a month and we have not met since my last report.
Okay, great. Community services and infrastructure, Ms. Comptello.
I'm going to rely on the manager to go through my agenda tonight. I'm by phone only. I don't have any visual.
Yes, I can handle that. The first motion here is for the Broadhead Sewer and Storm Separation Project. At our previous meeting, Gateway had made a presentation. So of that, it seemed the consensus was the second valued engineer option. So that is what the Community and Services and Infrastructure Committee is recommending that we move forward with. And that is the motion here this evening.
And a little bit of the history. This project has been going on for
Several years.
yes, many years. There was an initial design grant money that was asked for, but only a portion was received. And this was all in presentations prior. Portion was received. So we had to make adjustments to the layout because of the lack of grant money. We're also still utilizing some bond money. And the second value design was the one after several meetings that is the recommendation of the engineers. And after review, not only by council, but by resident feedback too. So do we have a motion?
I'll make it. I make the motion to approve the second value engineered option for the Broadhead Sewer Separation and Street Reconstruction and direct our engineers to move forward with the next steps of the project.
I will second.
Ms. Comptello, second. Discussion.
So the folks that are here tonight about Belvedere, just to recap what option 2 meant for Belvedere Street. Could we quickly recap what that means? It's I think if it's still from what I saw from last meeting, it says full reconstruction, and we're talking about pulling the bricks, full depth reconstruction and blacktop. Is that right? Am I understanding that right? I guess it's a question for either Kirsten or the engineer.
Yes, that is the option for Belvedere on that's the work for on Belvedere for option number 2, full depth road paving.
Did we talk about getting a trench option for that road, or was that not possible? I just, if someone can jog my memory.
Kirsten or the engineer.
Justin, are you talking about keeping a trench reconstruction and keeping the brick on Belvedere?
Yeah. Was that an option? I don't remember.
That was not one of the options that was fully explored. We had looked, it was costed, and I, again, am by phone only, so I don't have the numbers in front of me, but the engineer can review those numbers and remind us what the cost differential was. We were not looking at that with option 2. That was not that was not keeping all of the brick on Belvedere, but it was keeping brick on other portions of the street. So I'm going to ask the engineer to give more of the details to walk us through what that was.
Okay, essentially, this option, as Kirsten mentioned, all the options were costed as far as brick streets or not. And so there was a myriad of combinations of brick restoration, full restoration, mill and pave. So obviously, when you have 6, 8 streets and 3 or 4 different options, the combinations get excessive. And so a lot of them were eliminated based on costs. And if you're asking only about Belvedere, the cost estimate for the full road reconstruction and replacement sidewalks and both curbs is around $385,000, and the cost for a full replacement with brick sidewalk as needed, and so it's not all on the entire sidewalk and curbs, $717,000 was the estimate. So through all those combination evaluations, this option rose to the top for council and the engineering committee. And the idea was, though, is to leave some brick streets for the areas that are more driven and more public, to keep that appeal for the community. So Crennel and part of North Emily are remaining brick. So from the intersection, that entire intersection at Belvedere up through Crennel and a little bit down North Linwood and then North Emily, those are all remaining brick.
Any other questions? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes.
The second item is the Johnson Street Sewer Project, which has been ongoing since 2016. This is the final leg. And this is the tie in the upper from Crafton Boulevard through the backyards. We did bid this out. The low bidder was Osiris, and we have a motion here to award the base bid to Osiris in the amount of $148,975.
So moved.
Mr. Marks?
Second.
Ms. Compitello, any discussion or questions? This is the last portion of Johnson. So there was the sewer that everybody probably knows about, the sewer situation and how we had to line it the whole way down the street. It was actually just paved today. So it is looking very well. But this is the portion, as Mr. Sample had mentioned, towards Crafton Boulevard and in the backyards of people where the sewer has been. So this is the conclusion of this very massive project that has gone on for a very long time. Given that, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, motion passes.
Yes, El Grande put the binder coat down today on Chartiers, Johnston, and Crafton Boulevard. They'll be coming back tomorrow for Chess and Kingston. Station will be done when the top coat is being applied next week at some juncture. So they are working on schedule and within the confines of the contract. The second, or I guess we're on the fourth item now. Yes, fourth item here. My Latin class. I should have known these Roman numerals. We're waiting for the last several lights to be installed. I did meet with the contractor and Duquesne Light to the final leg of energizing the new lights that have been installed. That will probably take a month before we'll actually see them on. Is any questions on that? And Kirsten, I don't know if you wanted to just give a quick summary. The next item is the multi-municipal zoning project. I don't know if you have anything to say or anybody that's been working on that project. Any update?
It is moving forward. I'll let the manager, I'll let Jim Price give an update on that. But it is moving forward and we're reviewing the drafts that the consultant is putting together before it goes into a public review period once it's compiled.
And the last item here is the pool bathhouse. The engineers have prepared the bid documents. They will, there's a pre-bid meeting on the 25th, and then we're opening on August 11th. Yes.
And the expected construction is to start right when the pool closes, or around that time.
On the pool house item, have we considered putting or like letting folks know, like putting something up at the pool on the billboard there or something about like, hey, future improvements coming, maybe give some folks an idea? I know I've been to the pool a couple of times and thought, man, it'd be nice if we let folks there know that things are going to be changing next year and to look forward to the improvements.
Yeah, we can look into something.
It's a great idea. And even if it was just the design, to show the design of what it's going to look like for the future. That's a great idea. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Waterproof.
On that ends the committee's report.
Thank you. Communications, recreation, community events. Ms. Buchalny, could you take that? Do you feel?
Sure.
Great.
Similar to finance, we haven't had a meeting this month. I can give a quick update, upcoming community events. It was decided on August 12th, we will be having our next senior dinner. So we're starting the process of getting all the details together, but that is happening. So we will be communicating that out as we get those details locked in, but at least we have the date and it'll be in our community center.
What is the theme?
Oh, I just saw the flyer. This
Casino Royale.
Casino Royale. I keep saying Monte
Um,
Carlo, but yes.
Yes,
Casino
so
Royale.
I know that the seniors had wanted some games and dancing, so we're going to mix the two into
Oh.
Yes.
a little Casino Royale night, and there will be some live entertainment there as well.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
All right.
So that'll be August 12th. So we're excited about having another senior
Yeah.
dinner. Don't have exactly the details, but we will be doing a fall festival as well in September, I believe. So another thing that is happening. I don't have any updates on the digital park sign, as well as the newsletter. We're receiving our articles and we.
So the newsletter I can pipe
Sure.
in on. We've got quite a few articles. It's going to be a little bit longer newsletter. Roughing it out right now and hoping within the next week to have it ready to go to press so we can keep that schedule.
Great.
On the digital sign, we'd be looking after Labor Day. I just talked with the the company today. So after Labor Day.
Yeah, that's it. We'll have at the next council, we should have more updates, especially on some fall events that are happening. So.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Commission vacancy, Mr. Chandler.
Yes, so Mr. Corbel, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I need to make a motion to amend the agenda before I make a motion, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so then in that case, I would like to make a motion to amend the agenda.
To add a motion to,
To add a motion. Do I go through the whole thing? About what I
Yes.
want to do? Okay, so I would like to make a motion to amend the agenda to appoint Cody Sheets to the Civil Service Commission as an alternate seat set to expire on February 1st of 2029.
Second.
So Colton made the motion, Mr. Mark second. Any discussion?
I would just add that the Sunshine Act requires us to state why we are adding it. And my understanding is that the interviews took place and the decisions were made about this just yesterday. And it was a tight turnaround to change the agenda on the website. So it was just a timing issue. Is that accurate, Mr. Chandler?
Yes,
That
it
is
is.
correct.
Okay. So we can vote if there are no comments.
Any questions? All in favor of amending the agenda as described with the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes to amend the agenda to add that motion. So now Colton.
Great. So with that, then in that case, we have a few open positions still, excuse me. And if anybody is interested, you can apply for those at craftonborough.com.
Colton, you have to make the actual motion now
That was
because we just
the amendment.
amended the agenda. So now you have
Oh.
to make the
Got it,
appointment.
okay.
Yep.
So then in that case, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Cody Sheets to the Civil Service Commission as an alternate for a term to expire on February 1st of 2029.
Second.
Ms. Polkownik. Any discussion?
Could also ask for public comment if there's no discussion from council.
Any public comment? Or raise your hand on Zoom? Okay, there is none. Any other discussion? Question? All right. Vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes.
Okay, then sorry. So with that, then we do have a few open positions still available. And if anybody is interested, please do apply at craftonborough.com/commissions. And then so what we have available is Civil Service Commission alternate spot, Recreation Board. We also have one current opening as well as 3 openings at the end of the year. December 31st of 2023, those will be open. And again, that's 3 that will be opening at the end of this year. And then we have 1 alternate zoning hearing board spot open as well. And that's all we have available.
And I do want to mention, we are now down to 3 openings. When the vacancy committee went into place, I believe we had 25 or 23 openings at that time. So a significant improvement in terms of getting these important positions filled.
Yes, and again, I want to thank Ms. Polkownik and Ms. Bolenbacher, who have been an instrumental part in making that happen as well.
And part of the interview process is all the committee chairs or the commission chairs too. So they've spent interview time interviewing these folks and for the community for volunteering. All right. The COG, we're going to skip. They're on summer hiatus. So some community announcements. The next council meeting is Thursday, July 27th at 7:15. The pool season pass is still open. The pool is open, of course, from noon to 7. You can visit the website if you would like to buy season pass, which are still available. Also mini golf is open on Friday and Saturday nights from 7 to 9, $2 per person. And I think right now is also Kappa is performing arts, is having the concert in the Crafton Park right at this time. All right, any other comments or questions from council? Public comment. At this time, citizens may address the Crafton Borough Council on any issue. Only residents and taxpayers of the Borough of Crafton will be permitted to address the council. Speakers will be permitted to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes. Groups of people will be required to designate a spokesperson to represent them before the council, who may speak for a maximum of 5 minutes. Please state your name and physical address for the record. Anybody, you can raise your hand here. Okay, great.
Hi, Greg Wozniak again, 1773 Bar Avenue. I just have a question. I was wondering when the fourth economy study on Linden property would be available to the public.
Right. I don't know when that will happen.
It's been produced, but I haven't thought about whether or not it's a public record under the right to know law. That's how the public could gain access to that document, unless council wanted to share it. So we haven't talked about that, so we'll talk it over and we'll get back to. Yep.
All right, anyone else? Anybody on Zoom? Raise your hand. All right,
John, I will say, I believe we did already state that we would be making that study available. We can go back and check and discuss, but I
Welcome to McDonald's. What can I get?
believe we had said that.
Oh, yeah, it will be available.
It will be. We'll confirm that, and then council can decide how to move forward with that. 'Cause eventually, I think it would be germane to future discussions about the property. So, and we will be relying on it for those discussions.
Sure. Anything else? With that, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. 7:49.